Good morning. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, and my humble pranams at the holy feet of Revered Lalaji Maharaj, Revered Babuji Maharaj, and all elders of our mission. Today, I would I would like to continue reading the chapter Realization from the book Reality at Dawn, written by our great master Sri Babuji Maharaj. The first paragraph I would like to read. In this, Babuji Maharaj is explaining in detail about sadhana chatustaya. Chatustaya means four. Four sadhana, four principles. That is Viveka, Vairagya, Sat Sampat means six attributes. Six type of qualities, Sat Sampat, and Mumukshatva. That is finally the desire for enlightenment or desire for the ultimate goal. That is four. So he is speaking about, he is explaining about that. So let me read, and then let us all get enlightened by the teachings of our great master. Babuji said, the first of these sadhanas is Viveka. See, this is Vedanta philosophy. Vedantis, they have told sadhana chatustaya or jnana, the knowledge of the highest being. So this is what Babuji is explaining, that the first of these sadhana is discrimination. Discrimination is the first sadhana in practice. The yoga, the sadhana, the first thing is discrimination. We have to discriminate between the right and wrong, between the wise and wisdom, VIC, I mean, between the wrong and right, between the dharma and adharma. So this discrimination, what is illusion, what is reality, that discrimination we should have. So this world, what we think this world, though it is actually Maya, illusion, we think that it is a reality. And we are attached to it deeply. This attachment, what happens when we get a discrimination, the power of discrimination we have. And when we use our discrimination power, then we come to know that this world is transitory, transient. This is temporary. And this is constantly changing. So we cannot have eternal happiness, eternal peace, or eternal satisfaction. We cannot get in this life. Today we are alive, tomorrow we may not. We will disappear. Everything in this world, it will destroy. Sometime in the time it will exist, and in the time it will go. Therefore, this world being a transitory world, when we realize, then what happens, any man, human being, what happens, naturally his attention will be diverted towards the root cause for all this material manifestation of transitory things, objects, or lives, whatever may be. It is only transitory. That knowledge, when we get, then naturally our mind will be diverted to the divinity, the root cause. That is reality, unchanging, eternal, permanent, immortal. So like that, so infinite. Therefore our mind will be changed towards that ultimate reality, where from everything has been originated, including ourselves, men also, and all the species. So that is our original abode. That is our original state of existence. That is reality. From there, we slowly gathering all the coverings after coverings, some scars, karmas, some scars. You can say that's the impressions after. That is coverings after coverings. We came, and the ego developed out of those coverings, and then from the ego, this body, this mind, this senses, and the life, the man, in the physical form, we are existing in this grossest form of existence, grossest world, and then we are becoming still solid rock, ourselves, by accumulating more and more samskaras, by doing karmas, unrighteous karmas. We are accumulating so many. Still, we are becoming grosser and grosser. So that is the thing. We have to become subtle and subtler. So when we will get into that idea of getting subtler and subtler, progressing spiritually means when we come to know that this world is completely, it is what is called temporary. It is changing world. So when we come to know that this is a transitory world, then we lose attachment on this material world, and slowly we turn our attention towards the permanent eternal being, our eternal existence, eternal abode, that we turn towards the ultimate. So that is called renunciation. You understand? So not detachment. Okay, detachment. We detach from this. But Babaji calls that non-attachment. Detachment. We possess the objects. We possess our people, everything, beings, our Itankin, we possess everything, but yet we are unattached. Like a droplet on the lotus petal. Droplet will be there, but it will not be attached to the leaf. So we lead such a life, non-attachment. So non-attachment means that is when we start means practicing non-attachment. Non-attachment will not create any samskaras, any impressions. Only attachment will form impressions and not non-attachment. So once we develop non-attachment completely with this world, and what happens, then our connection this world will be slowly cut. We'll disconnect. We'll detach with this world completely. That non-attachment we have to develop. And we have to develop in the beginning attachment towards the divinity, and at the end we will become one with that ultimate state of, that is center, what you call, or bhuma, or anything. Everything will go into that. So therefore this Vedanta, in the Vedanta they have how to achieve the enlightenment. They have told in 4 Chatushtaya, sadhana Chatushtaya, we have to gather four qualities, or 4, we have to do 4 types of some practice, sadhana, and then get 4 things. Only then we will get enlightenment. That is what Babaji is telling. The first of the sadhana is viveka, discrimination. We see many things in the world, but when we think of their existence, we find that they are changeable. They are the different forms of Maya. Okay. As we generally call them. We are thus inwardly induced to go deeper in order to trace out the cause for this existence. Our attention is thus diverted from transitory things to that which is unchanging or eternal. You see, when we find that this is Maya, this is nothing but changeable thing, we turn, our mind naturally turn towards unchangeable thing, that is eternal, eternality, that is a reality. Worldly objects thus begin to lose their charm, and we feel in a way unattached with them. This brings us to the state of vairagya, renunciation, which is uh, vairagya, which is known as the second of the four sadhanas. So, first one is discrimination, that is viveka, vivekananda. This is discrimination, like a swan. Swan will take the milk and leave the water. So, viveka means that is we leave this maya and then we catch that eternality, eternal thing. That is a reality. So, like that, first viveka. Second thing is vairagya. That is renunciation. Once we know that this is maya, we get vairagya, renunciation. By renunciating everything, we go, we catch the reality and become one with it. Ultimate reality. Therefore, viveka first, second, this is vairagya. The third is sat sampat. That is six qualities we have to develop. That is. The fourth one is what is mumukshatva. Mumukshatva means that is desire for enlightenment. That is desire for reaching the ultimate. So now the second one Babuji is telling, our attention is thus diverted from transitory things to that which is unchangeable or eternal. Worldly objects thus begin to lose their charm and we feel in a way unattached with them. This brings us to the state of vairagya, renunciation, which is known as the second of the fourth sadhanas. The state of vairagya is also brought about by certain other causes too. For example, when we are fed up with worldly objects, after indulging in them to our heart's content, we sometimes begin to feel an inward repulsion towards them. Worldly objects also, vairagya, so many types of vairagya. So a man, MLA, he wants to become MLA. He's in the election, he stands as an MLA. Means what is that? Election. He stands. But unfortunately, he fails. So therefore, he gets vairagya. That is vairagya. That is, he gets dejected with this world completely. Some people will go in some other field. Some people will go to the extent of committing suicide also. That is terrible thing. Means vairagya. I mean, the vairagya means we get when we get a dejection, disappointment, and reverses in life. We naturally get vairagya. Means we don't want to live in this world and we don't want anything else. So suppose we lose our kith and kin also, we get that vairagya. Smasana vairagya, that is called. So we get that vairagya. That will be for temporary. For some time we live in that state of vairagya. And afterwards, slowly, the desire will, so many desires will crop in our mind, and our condition, will completely change. We lose that vairagya. So that is, so many types of vairagyas are there. That is what Babuji is telling. The state of vairagya is also brought about by certain other causes too. For example, when we are fed up with these worldly objects, after indulging in them, to our heart's content, we sometimes begin to feel an inward repulsion towards them. Okay. Then, in such cases, our attention is naturally diverted towards some nobler ideal and we feel a bit awakened to godly thought. So, noble ideals, some sort of vairagyas due to some other causes. Suppose suppose a mother gives a birth to a mother gives a birth to a crippled child. So the father will get naturally, mother and father, they will get, parents will get vairagya. What is this? And they may begin to help all crippled people in the world, wherever. Because they realize that the condition of a crippled child and that of their parents and how much pain they undergo, the crippled children. So they will start. So like that it happens. Some people, they start with poor, very, very poor state of existence. They start their lives and they become rich people, rich and super rich. So those people, what they do is they try to help the poor people, destitutes, orphanage. because they had that what is hungry. What is hungry? They realize the pain of hungry, because they went through they went through that pain of hungry for several days, months, and therefore in their beginning stage, therefore they become great actors or great politicians or great or richer people. Then they realize that they have to help the poor people. They should not, nobody should have roti kapda makan, that should be given to everyone. So like that, the vairagya means, that is one type of vairagya. Because of vairagya only, they try to help other people. Vairagya comes in lot of causes, due to a lot of causes. And when we have been deeply pricked by the next, you see, in such cases, our attention is naturally diverted towards some nobler ideal, and we feel a bit awakened to godly thought. So some people get a godly thought due to this vairagya, godly thought. Yes, there is God, and that God, he is the governing principle. He is ruling the entire, and he is the Sisti Sthiti Laya, and he is the protector. He is omnipresent. Means he is the protector. He is the creator, the protector. And then they feel that it is because of him only we are all happy, even though with all so many things in this treacherous world, wicked world, we are being happy because of him only. So godly knowledge will come due to vairagya in the material field for certain people. That is also one way of vairagya. So godly thought. Secondly, when we have been deeply pricked by the treachery and faithlessness of the world, we feel disgusted in and inwardly averse to worldly things. So that is a pricking. People are there. Society means not tongues and rebukes. They will throw on us. They will prick our hearts. People are there. So many. You can take ladies, they become widows in those days. They will prick their hearts. They will not allow the lady to participate in the some festivals or some programs connected with the godly chanting or bhajans, and so they will keep that widow far away from all these auspicious things. So how much it is pricking the heart of a lady due to that. So that pricking, that society, so many people in the society, the men or the women in the society, they face a lot of this treachery. They will, some people will get, they will believe, they will trust some people, and that people will cheat them. This is treachery. So when we face such defeats, such treachery, or such they get distrusted by the people in so many field, in so many things, then they get dejected, disappointed with this, and they get completely, they get what is called this despondency also. What is this world? So they begin to lament. So that creates vairagya, because by getting cheated by others, people get into vairagya, and they think about highly things, godly things, like that. What is this God? What is this type of this thing reverses, this type of treachery? Why you have given to me? Why people are cheating me? So like that, that will happen to, that is one way of cause for the vairagya. So feeling of dissatisfaction and detachment also develops when we are in a state of bereavement on account of the death of some of our dear ones. So somebody, some kith and kin, they dies. Then we get completely bereavement, they're completely dejected, disappointed. And therefore we get, what is this life? Meaningless life. I don't want to live in this life because I have lost my child. I lost my wife. I lost my mother, I have lost my husband, I lost my father, lost my dear and near friend. No, like that, when the heart gets disheartened, when we get disheartened, when we put to such circumstances, adverse circumstances, due to loss of our own kith and kin, that for whom we have we love like anything, our life will be based, well, we give life to them. So such people, when we lose, we think that everything we have lost. That is a kind of renunciation. We renunciate everything at that moment. So that is the cause for one of the. But Vairagya created under such circumstance is seldom genuine or lasting. That is what Babuji is telling. So Vairagya, of course, it is created in so many ways in this world. Man is facing Vairagya. He is getting Vairagya in so many things in this world when he is faced with reverses. So rejection he gets, and he gets completely disgusted. But that Vairagya, that renunciation is a temporary renunciation, transitory. That will be for some time, of course. But after the time rolls, time goes, and then the same person, he will get rid from that Vairagya, and he will indulge in some other activities which gives him a lot of success, happiness, or something else, some other responsibilities, and he will forget these things. So that is what Babuji. It is not everlasting. It is for some time. It will be there, such Vairagya or renunciation, and it will disappear. It soon disappears with the change of adverse circumstances. So the such will be adverse circumstances. It will be changed. There is a story which relates that. One story is Babuji is telling one story. A story that relates that a certain man wanted to see Kabir Das. Okay. When he reached his house, he was informed that Kabir Das had gone with a funeral party to the cremation ground to burn the dead body of one of his deceased relations. It is about the Kabir Das. The Kabir is a Kabir saint, and everybody knows about the saint Kabir. He was only the, even Lalaji Maharaj said, he was only the man who could cross 16th circle. And nobody in the history of spirituality so far as now in this world, only Kabir Das, he is such a brave-hearted man. So Kabir Das is a great saint. Both Babuji and Lalaji Maharaj praises him. So Kabir Das, once he went to the burial ground to bury, cremate one of his relations who is deceased, who had dead. So Kabir had gone with a funeral party to the cremation ground to burn the dead body of one of his deceased relations. The man proceeded to the cremation ground to see him there. One man wants to see Kabir Das. He went to the burial ground. But as he had never seen him before, he has not seen. Some person wants to see Kabir Das, stranger, but he has never seen Kabir Das. So he went to the crematory, to the graveyard, but he could not find out who is Kabir Das. So to see him before him there, but as he had never seen him before, he thought it might be difficult for him to recognize Kabir Das among the party. Naturally, he could not find out. Lot of people are there, men are there. So who is Kabir Das? He could not trace out the stranger. For this purpose, he was told that he should look to the halo round everybody's face. So somebody has told him, see, halo round. Whose face is halo round? That is, for this purpose, he was told that he should look to the halo round everybody's face. Halo round face will be there, everybody, that should be looked. Somebody told him, the stranger, the halo round the face of each one of the party would be found glowing as he proceeded towards the cremation ground. It was glowing, halo round face. When he is going to the graveyard, halo round face was, he was seeing everyone's face was halo round. with glowing. Because of this, the feeling of renunciation is there, no, all around, but would grow dimmer and dimmer and finally disappear as they returned. When they are in the burial, means burial ground, when the body was being cremated, these all the people's face was glowing, all around face was glowing, including Kabir Das. But when they are returning, when they were returning home, slowly the face has become dimmer and dimmer. That glowing was disappearing slowly. So, and finally disappeared as they returned. Only the halo round Kabir's face would remain glowing all through with equal luster. Only Kabir Das' face was glowing, halo round face. He has also feeling of this renunciation. Sorry, our Kitankin has gone. So, but his halo round face was glowing, though he was returning to his home. You see that which is. That's why he is a saint and his face was glowing. So, what Babuji is telling, although with equal, that is, would remain, Kabir's face would remain glowing all through with equal luster. Thus, the feeling of Vairagya actuated by such sudden causes is generally short lived. Sudden causes of that Vairagya, such Vairagya renunciation will be short lived. What Babuji says, it will live for, that will be there for some time only and it will go away, Vairagya, but not with the case of Kabir Das. Saint Kabir, it is ever his face his face is glowing, was glowing ever, because he is a saint. He is always in a state of Vairagya, or he has crossed the stage of Vairagya also. Okay, so his face was glowing. Only the hollow, round Kabir's face would remain glowing all through with equal luster. Thus, the feeling of Vairagya actuated by such sudden causes is generally short-lived and changes with the change of circumstances. For though the sudden shock temporarily creates a feeling of Vairagya, the seed of desires and enjoyment still lies buried deep within the heart and may sprout forth immediately when it finds a congenial atmosphere. You see, because of sudden cause, a man can get into a Vairagya, state of Vairagya. His face may become hollow and shining. But afterwards, what happens? Slowly the days, months goes. The seeds of desires are there in his heart, and the opportunities are there. When the congenial atmosphere, when he come in contact with the congenial atmosphere, the seeds of desires will sprout, and it will start blossoming, flowering, and this man will get happiness, success, and he will slowly forget, and his Vairagya will slowly disappear from his self. So this is what Babuji says, that such Vairagya is only created for suddenly, and it will disappear like a passing cloud. A cloud which will give rain and then slowly passing cloud. It will go away. Okay, that is not permanent Vairagya or renunciation. So here we require renunciation. Indirectly, Babuji is telling we have to renunciate everything. That is what he is meant. Babuji is telling only then we can have the darshan of that. We can go to reach our goal. But by being attached to it, we can never reach our goal. That's why he is telling moderation and balance earlier. We studied. So we have to cultivate moderation and balance in all our activities and everything. That will, due to that only will. And this Vairagya is also by doing sadhana. We are doing sadhana, and due to sadhana, we slowly get away from all these attractions, this lust, or this greedy, or all these tendencies and attachments. We will get rid from all these things. That is what Babaji Maharaj is telling. Only then we can reach, we can go higher in spiritual stages till we reach our goal. So far though the sudden shock temporarily creates a feeling of vairagya, the seed of desires and enjoyment still lies buried deep within the heart and may still and may sprout forth immediately when it finds a congenial atmosphere. The feeling of vairagya in the real sense and with the lasting results can only be developed after thorough cleaning and due moderation. That is what Babaji Maharaj is telling. The complete vairagya, when it will come, the renunciation, when we will renunciate all these things and go to the reality and become one with it. Because this renunciation, complete vairagya we will get only when all our samskars are completely cleansed from our self. That is the thing. The samskaras, karmas, and vasanas, the desires, undue attachment because of all these desires, unwanted desires, and what is called this samskaras, what we have gathered, millions of lives. We have been gathering all these samskaras, karmas, vasanas, and these things completely will be cleansed by the divine energy, that is by the pranahuti from the great master. And when all these things shattered, completely removed from the self, from the soul, jivatma, and everything is removed by the grace of the great master, by the mercy of the great master, by the power of pranahuti, he will remove all those things and throw away, which we may not have consciousness, we may not be conscious of it. But even then, his pranahuti will be working. Once we are connected to him, to his heart, once we go to his holy feet and surrender ourselves, stay as an abhyasi or a human being also, we stay at his holy feet, he will remove all those things without our knowledge, and we will be free from all these impurities, all this dirt, all these complicities, all these samskaras. So when we are, thus all these things are removed, and the soul becomes completely free from all these attachments, undue attachments with this world or from this bondage. And then only that liberation, that ultimate liberation we will get only through renunciation. That complete renunciation will come when the samskar is completely cleansed from our system. And the system is completely pure and perfect, then we are one with it, one with our great master. We will become one with our great master. In toto, we will merge in him in toto. That is our purpose of life. And that is our goal of life. To merge in him. He is the goal of our life. Then the purpose is completely fulfilled and cherished. That's all. This is what Babaji Maharaj is telling about the Vedantic view, their process. He is explaining Babaji Maharaj. That's all. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. We'll meet again by the will of the great master. And let us read whatever he said in his books and get enlightened in this very life. We don't want another lives. Enough. We have faced enough misery. That's what Babaji has told. You want to live life after life? What for? Just to face misery. Like persons who accumulating wealth after wealth. Finally, what for? Wealth will be there, but he will not be there. You see? So like that, we are not here in this world just to face misery. And again, another life, misery, like that, taking millions and number of lives just to face misery. We have Viveka. Vivek. Vivek. Discrimination capacity God has given. And with that, we have to follow the instructions of our great master and reach him. Try to reach him. Struggle, struggle, struggle. We have to go on struggling. Whatever situation we are, circumstances we are put in. No, we should not carried away by the circumstances, by the success, or by the failures, or by the wrong attitudes, tendencies. No, whatever we have, whatever, no, nothing should shake our determination to reach our great master and to become one with him. That we should not live in this life till last breath. We should not leave the holy feet of our great master. Only then, whatever happens in the next life, that is left to his sweet will and pleasure. Thy will be done. That should be our motto. Thank you. Om Shanti.